Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. And today, I want to go ahead and try and set up some farms. I need to go ahead and get some of these things set up because a lot of the projects that I have that I want to do here on Genesis are going to require some resources that are a little bit difficult to get. The first one that comes to mind is a cementing paste farm using Achatina. Cementing paste is pretty difficult to get here. There's not really a great spot to farm chitin. I technically can go over into the Magmasaur cave, but it's not exactly great, and it's pretty risky because at any moment that cave can just decide to explode, and, well, that's normally not very good for me. So, yeah, I'd like to go ahead and get an Achatina farm, and I think I also want to get myself a Dodo farm for some kibble, so I can go ahead and utilize the Tide Pup's healing ability after I learned that it is based off of food, like the Dodos healing ability. I figured it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and get myself a kibble farm set up, and Dodos are really good for that. So, probably going to go ahead and work on that today, and I'll just have to set up a temporary area here at the shack. I do plan on moving, but the Achatina farm is one of the main things I need to get before I attempt that now. Unfortunately, Achatina aren't really on Genesis itself. However, they are on some of the islands here in the ocean biome. At the very least, they weren't on Genesis before, so I don't actually know if they changed that. But I know I've seen some on the southeast island, and I believe there's some on the southwest as well. We may have to do a little bit of island hopping to figure it out, and I might eventually have to come back and grab my sloop just to help me get around, but yeah, this is kind of the main plan for today, is trying to set these farms up because they're going to be pretty helpful. I'm kind of tossing the idea of making a Kairuku farm for polymer and a tech farm for, well, tech, element, metal, all that fun stuff, but unfortunately, okay, just making sure we're safe. Unfortunately, the Kairuku farm is going to be a little bit difficult. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about making it. And the tech farm, I think that's something that I might have to do a little bit later when I have more space. Fortunately, tech farms are normally pretty big because you normally want to use a bunch of tech parasaurs, and you don't really have the ability to carry a bunch of those around. Now, the big problem that I have is I'm not exactly sure if I want to go for just normal Achatina or if I want to try and get good level Achatina. Realistically, I mean, the best thing that I could probably hope for would be health and food. The only problem is that food would make it so I don't have to feed them nearly as often. But at the same time, I mean, because of how rare Achatina are, it might be better if I just tame whatever ones I find. Hold on, let me just make sure. Did I grab the veggie cakes? Okay, I didn't grab the veggie cakes. Hang on a second. Alright, here's our snail friend. And yeah, I have a ton of veggie cakes. How much? Yeah, 72. So I think I can afford to be a little bit open to what I decide to tame. The only problem is I don't really know how much veggie cakes it's going to require or how much biotoxin it's going to require because it's not max level and I really only know max levels. And either way, Achatinas have some weird bug where for whatever reason after they eat a veggie cake for a little bit, it doesn't register that there's food in its inventory, and so its taming goes down. At least I remember it doing that in Evolved, and I think it's still like that in Ascended. My guess would be because of the veggie cake cooldown. You can't use one for 30 seconds after consuming one, and so because it basically blocks them out of its inventory, it doesn't think there's actually food in there. That would be my assumption anyway. I'd like to know if they patched that, or if there even would be a way to patch that, because I would really like that to go away. But yeah, hopefully we can go ahead and tame that guy up, and hopefully we can find some more around here, because, yeah, unfortunately Achatina are not very common, and I would really like to avoid having to breed them if I can, because Achatina have a surprisingly long grow-up time. It's about the same as a Rex, actually. If I'm doing my math correctly, I think it's around that time, so yeah. relatively long for such a, not large creature. And yeah, of course, you have to feed them veggie cakes, which are not exactly the easiest food to acquire. I only have one beehive for now, and I'll probably have to fix that later. We'll just go ahead and knock this guy out. There we go. So yeah, if all goes according to plan, we should hopefully be able to get ourselves a couple of these guys. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I don't think you need to worry. I'm pretty sure you can just use any two snails. They count as both male and female. I believe animals that can do that are called hermaphrodites, if I remember correctly. But yeah, hopefully, we should only need to get 2 of them, but I would like to try and find some more. But I want to quickly make sure. Is there any more here on this island, or... yes, that is tracking one. Is it what the Cardinal's trying to kill right now, or is that something else? Should probably deal with the Pegos. Bang. We'll let that one deal with that, and we'll just do that. Probably a waste of some durability, but that's fine. And can I get my spear bolt back? Nope. Alright, we're getting attacked by terrorbirds now. Oh, we're getting attacked by 3 terrorbirds now. There we go. Problem solved. And going to be taken place by a Carno. Okay, are we done? Is there anything else I need to kill? No? Okay, is there a snail right here? Yes, there is. A level? 25. Not great. I'm actually getting a little bit worried. Okay, so that one should take 5. Okay, exactly what I gave it. And we are definitely going to need to use some biotoxin on these guys. Okay, note to self, cannot knock out too low of a snail. That's a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, they definitely do seem to be around here. So this is the south. Let's make sure. Yeah, southeast island. So you can come down here, and looks like there's about 3 of them here. I might be missing 1 or 2, and just kind of having to go off what the gene scanner is telling me. But I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, 3 snails for the island just for the first go isn't too bad. Fortunately, these guys do take a pretty long time to tame up, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the best method for doing this is going to be, because their time is quite a bit, and the torpor they have is really low, so I might leave them. Honestly, this guy could probably get knocked out again, so I honestly might just starve tame it and knock it out another time. I guess that'd be really risky, especially if something came around to try and kill it, so I guess I should probably go ahead and just help tame these guys up, and then we can head over to the other island when we're done here. Am I in trouble? No. Okay, so yeah, I guess give me a few minutes. I'm going to tame these snails up, and then I will bring you guys back. Okay, so that's both of the snails tamed up, and I really quickly... I'll go ahead and pull out the other one, just confirm I can pair them together, right? Enable mating, let's just say following, and alright, yep, it works, perfect. Alright, we'll go ahead and I can use that if worst comes to worst, but yeah, I want to quickly check out the other 2 islands down here. I don't think I've ever actually been to the South Island. I don't know which one this is gonna teleport me to, so hopefully there's nothing there waiting to kill me. I don't know if there's going to be snails there, but I'm pretty sure the southwest one should have some snails. So you can go ahead and check that area out. And, you know, I probably should have been trying to look for dodos as well this whole time. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a problem, but let's see where this spits us out.
Here we are.
Alright, looks like we're doing okay. Okay, I have been here before, and I'm just gonna do this. I need to go ahead and kill some Terrys for a, bounty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let him... Ow. It's a little bit painful. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the, treasure bottle we had over here. Let's just make sure. Is there any snails here? No, but there is some... That's weird. Where exactly is that pointing? I feel like that's not pointing at an actual island. Okay. So none here at the South Island, I guess. So let's try headed up to the Southwest Island. There'll be some over there, and I don't really think... I don't have any way of getting across the water, right? Yeah, I guess I could probably just skate across it with the Bloodstalker, though. I mean, it wouldn't exactly be the fastest way, or necessarily the safest, but definitely beats swimming. So, yeah, I might go ahead and give that a shot to see if we can make it to whatever island this one's tracking. I guess it's probably just the northern end of this island here.
Here we are. Right
Yeah, up there. Let's see. Hopefully we can find some. And I'd like it if we could get some good levels, but if we can't, I mean, that's okay too. I mean, on one hand, lower levels is easier to tame, less expensive, takes less time, but on the other hand, higher levels means more food, meaning I can leave them unattended for longer. I don't really know how many veggie cakes a day these guys take now that I think about it. I'm guessing it's probably maybe like 2 at the maximum, though. I should probably look into that because, yeah, this could get pretty bad. Should be just around here. Honestly, I might not even just use my Bloodsucker. I might just run on foot. This is a pretty big island, though, so it'd probably take a while. Let's see. Still going. And apparently I fell off a cliff there. My bad. Come on, let me back up. Alright, you know what? Let's try it up. That's a bit weird. Do it this way. Up. Alright, looks like there's one around here somewhere, judging by the arrows. Alright, looks like the Bloodstalker's kind of bugging out a little bit. Launching me backwards in time, so hopefully that's not going to be too big of a problem. But he should be right around here, I think. Yep, there he is. Are you going to be able to handle getting knocked out? No, you are not. I don't know. I think this does more damage, but... we'll give it a shot. Okay, well, it might help if I hit it in the right spot. Oh, there we go. Did work. I was honestly expecting that to die. This is only level 20. The other one I tamed was a 50, right? Yeah, so this is going to require even less. I didn't realize that they had traits. Now I wish I had slow metabolism on these guys. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how much this is going to take. Probably 2, I'm guessing. It's going to be pretty hard to track another one, and this one's going to require a lot of care to go ahead and keep it under, so... Yeah, hang on, let me just tame this guy up first. Okay, there we go. Third snail done. And unfortunately, I did confirm that it does still do the weird thing where it thinks it has no food in its inventory. So, that's a little bit unfortunate. Definitely gonna increase the amount of cakes we're gonna need to finish this off. Looks like we are tracking one over on that island over there. I don't really have a good way of getting to that, unfortunately. You know, I could just try to skate across the water, but I mean, how long would that take? Let me just get a decent idea. Let's just get back to walking. You know, actually, this isn't that bad. And I guess I could speed it up even more by... yeah, just jumping would honestly probably be a pretty good way to handle that. I'm not exactly sure if it's faster than just sprint walking or swimming, or I'm not exactly sure what you call this, but yeah, looks to be working out pretty well. And yeah, unfortunately Megs do still target us, so I will have to go ahead and avoid them. But yeah, I'm thinking I only want like one more of these guys. I think will probably be enough for now. I'll definitely go ahead and tame more as time goes on, but yeah, I mean, 4 should be decent for now. I mean, I think that's, what, 400 cementing paste every time I check. That's 400 polymer an hour, 4 cementing paste a minute, so, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of paste, so the only problem is there's no way to automatically harvest these guys, all the paste that they generate in their inventory. You can technically set up a gotcha to pick up all the paste that they drop on the ground, but personally I've never been a big fan of that method because the gotchas will eat some of the paste, and I mean, you can go ahead and stuff their inventory full of other things to keep them busy eating, but I don't know, that's a lot of resources. I'd kind of just rather go ahead and every hour check their inventory and grab the paste that's there. Unfortunately, no way to go ahead and automatically take that out of their inventory anymore. They haven't really added a way to do that. I really wish that the automaton would be able to access creatures' inventories, because that would be amazing for Achatina paste farms. Speaking of which, looks like our guy is right here. Hello, buddy. And, alright, low level. That's just going to make it easy for me to tame him again. Should be, I think, 3 for level... Actually, no, R1 was level 20, right? Yeah, so should just be 2. And then I'll only need, like, 1 like a biotoxin. So, now that I know that, we can look across the rest of the island. And I actually need to take out some Microraptors, so let's just do that while we're here. Because they're probably going to be a problem anyway. Alright, and I think I need to take out a galley. There we go. Perfect. Alright, well, that was easy. And let's see if there's another snail here, maybe up in the fort over here. I'll pull up Gene's camera just to make sure. Okay, still tracking the one we have knocked out, so let's just hop to the complete other end. And make sure... need to be careful of those Dinotherium, though. That could be a problem. Okay, there's a Megatherium, so I think it's safe to say that there are no snails around here. Because Megatherium would definitely kill it. Alright, well, it looks like the whole southern end of the ocean biome can probably have snails, would be my guess. Judging by just how many we've found. I mean, 4 is not a bad start. I mean, I'd like more. I mean, the more the better, but I probably am going to sit around maybe 12 snails max, I think, for the farm that I have. I have a bit of a design, and that'll probably actually take up most of the time. We'll be actually building that, and I'll just go ahead and fill it up with more snails later, because getting those is going to take quite a while, because I'll have to wait for the respawns, and I might just have to breed them, and I don't know why I'm wasting shotgun ammo on compies when I can just use this. There we go. But yeah, I also need to go ahead and get a dodo farm set up. Unfortunately, I'm going to want a lot of dodos. I'm thinking upwards of maybe 30 female dodos. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. I guess if I keep it at a lower number, I can probably go ahead and just keep them around where I always am, and then that will produce a lot more eggs more often. I did forget, though, I am going to need an oviraptor if I want to make a dodo farm. That's going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to have to go steal a magmasaur egg for that, and I'm going to want to make sure it's not a good one, because obviously I do not want to be sacrificing a good level magmasaur to an oviraptor, so I'll have to keep a close eye on that. So yeah, let me finish up taming the snail, and then we can head and try to get that magmasaur egg for that oviraptor. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Alright, here we are in the volcano, and with any luck, we should have a decent amount of time before this thing erupts. However, if we only have enough time to grab 1 egg, that's fine. Unless it's a good level, then I'm not going to be using a good level for a oviraptor, but yeah, odds are we're not going to have a good one. And I completely forgot to mention this, but at the time I'm filming this, Summer Bash is still active. I'm pretty sure by the time that this goes live, if I remember the end date correctly, Summer Bash should not be out. But yeah, so We're gonna have to dino wipe everything in here, and just so if anyone's confused why there's a bunch of weird colored stuff, the event is still active for me. And I just want to quickly check. Looks like we got nothing amazing here today. Are they already angry? Oh, they're definitely already angry. Unfortunately, all these ones are bad, so I should be able to just kill them without having any regrets. Let's go ahead and... Oh, that's bad. Fortunately, I had my Tide Pup with me, so we should be okay. Right? Let the inflame debuff wear off quickly. Okay, maybe we're not gonna be fine. There we go. Hop back up here. Alright. Yeah, that didn't go well. Just reload this thing and we'll have to just shoot him from way up here. I don't know how they got aggroed so fast. That was really weird. Fortunately, yeah, it looks like they're both bad. And that one's not even good, so that's good. Oh, hey, Tide Pup got growth surge. That's nice, I guess. Yeah, apparently it's not just from using the regenerative health buffer, but I think it's just any form of healing, including the advanced, just passive regeneration rate that they give you, work towards it, as well as Dispel works towards it, I believe. That's just from how often I've gone ahead and had it increase from just being in here. And honestly, one spot that I found that was really good for increasing it was actually the lunar biome, because you're constantly taking damage from the sun. The radiation effect, the sun radiation, I guess I should say, that you get is affected by Dispel. Of course, it gets applied immediately afterwards, but it technically does get cleared, so yeah, lunar biome's actually... That is not where I was when I hopped off, but okay. Anyway, yeah, lunar biome, really good spot to evolve your Tide Pup, or at least work towards it. So yeah, honestly, you could probably just go around there on something like a Mega Raptor or some other carnivore, just taking out tech creatures for the dust and stuff. Thanks, game. And the elements and the metal and all the good stuff you can get from all that. And you'd probably be good. I know this is a really bad idea, but I think I want to stay in here and get all of the eggs that are in here. I mean, I gotta do it at some point if I want to mutate these things, and I definitely do. I've gotten some really good stats. I keep getting better ones, I just still don't have good health. And of course, I want to get 2 sets of traits, one for a harvesting Magmasaur and one for an actual combat Magmasaur, which, yeah, getting 2 sets of traits is going to be pretty difficult, but there we go, level 20. Can I hop back on, please? Thank you. And one other spot just over here. There we go. And is there anyone here today? Yes, there is. 1 egg and 1 Magmasaur. 95 with protective 2. That's actually pretty good. I'd definitely take as many copies of Prot as I can. Let's see. Ooh, 145. That'll be interesting. And 95. Let's just get to a safe spot so we don't get killed immediately. And we should hopefully be okay to just teleport out of here. And then we can go focus on finding an Oviraptor, because it should be an insta-tame with a, well, not an insta-tame, but a single extraordinary egg should be all we need. Unfortunately, Oviraptor are so incredibly... Oh, it's not tracking them. Hold on a minute. Let's head back to the ocean biome and see if we can still track one. Or if there's just no Achatina around, because I don't know if it counts the 2 biomes separately. Actually, no, it doesn't, because I've been tracking Tide Pups. Okay, yeah. Never mind. So I guess there's just no more Achatinas. Let's just grab Oviraptor. Oh, that's not good. Am I okay? Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I need to get rid of these guys. This is the second time I've spawned on top of Troodons here. Come on. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, note to anyone who lives on this island, build right here where the teleportation spot is. Even if it's just something to go ahead and prevent spawns, because Theries spawn here, Raptors spawn here, Dilos, Troodons, bunch of stuff that, I mean, when you get out of a teleport, bunch of stuff that can very easily go ahead and, at the very least, potentially break some of your armor, but in the case of those Troodons, they will ruin everything. So, yeah, I can't exactly recommend that. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and drop off the good egg. Actually, let's drop off all but the worst one. So, 95. Where's the 145? Because that's the one that really matters. Alright, I'll keep 20 just because lowest level, so... Alright, there we go. We'll check that out in a minute. And let's see if we can find ourselves an Oviraptor. Behind me? Is it on the island, or is it on another one? That's the real question. It looks like it might be here. Oh, it's definitely here. Alright, let's see, where is it? That missed it. 25, not particularly great, but we don't really need to have that much range, so we can afford a low level. Oh, 55. Definitely better than 25. I don't think I'll need to keep it down. I think it should be fine this way, but I guess I don't know. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and hop over here, and let's see if that 145 came out with any good stats for us. Let's see what we have here. Did I not? My bad. There we go. Alright. Cold, not particularly great. Mutable melee. Distracting, I will be taking that. And I already have better stamina. And, okay, so, all in all, pretty bad. I will take distracting, though, and I'll actually take the 145 to grow up just for some kibble. So we'll toss this guy out by the bio grinder, and I guess I can toss out this one, just take the trait right now, and we can use it for kibble here when it's done growing up. There we go. And the Oviraptor should tame up eventually. So now, I should just have to get some Dodos. Yeah, originally I was kind of thinking that I could go ahead and get myself a polymer farm. But I don't think I'm going to do it because polymer farms are... I've never really made one, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how to make one because I feel like all of the effective ways that I can think of have at least one major problem. The main ways that I know to make a polymer farm is, one, the Pelagornis method, which is... I feel that's the most popular one, and that normally just has a Pelagornis go ahead and kill all of the penguins, but the number one problem with the Pelagornis method is Pelagornis fly, and so when you whistle them too aggressive, whenever they go to kill something, they kind of fly all over the place, and that can make it pretty difficult to go ahead and keep them in an area to go ahead and kill tiny little baby penguins, so... I don't really know how that method works, plus they get encumbered really quickly, even with ridiculous weight reduction. Polymer isn't exactly light, and of course I couldn't ride on a Pelagornis here because, well, it's Gen 1. The other option would be to use a Moss Chops, but of course Moss Chops will not attack anything, so I'd have to go ahead and find another way to kill all the penguins, which I guess I could pair it with some herbivore, like, I mean, theoretically a stego would work, but the problem with doing it that way, of course, is that stegos are not exactly very small and compact to fit into a small farm. Here we go, some Dodos. Let's see, what do we have here? I want to try and find a good level, honestly, just to make it easier for me. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just knock them all out. Female, go to bed. Male, need one of you guys. Another female, out. And is that all of them? Yep, one more. Female. Okay, that didn't happen. You didn't see that. There we go. Alright, bunch of sleeping Dodos. And do I have an easy way? Yeah, I have my moss chops with me. But yeah, so one method I did end up hearing, which I'm actually pretty intrigued and I might give it a shot, is to go ahead and use a Dimetrodon, because Dimetrodon will hatch the eggs, because, in case you didn't know, Dimetrodons go ahead and provide insulation, so they can basically be used as air cons that you tame instead of building, and you could then set the Dimetrodon to aggressive, and then it will just go ahead and eat all the baby penguins for you, which should work. I don't really think Dimetrodons are good at harvesting polymer, so it would probably only be like 1 or 2 per baby, but I mean, if it works, it works. Not to mention Dimetrodons are of course pretty small, so I go ahead and fit them inside where the penguins are, and I wouldn't have to worry about the eggs always being too hot and needing to keep the area powered with a generator, so that would be pretty nice. The only problem is I need to tame a Dimetrodon, and honestly, Dimetrodon are pretty annoying to tame. They take a lot of narcotic. I might honestly just go claim a wild baby. That might be the easiest method. But yeah, I think we got all the creatures we're going to use for now. I might eventually make a penguin farm. Maybe I'll do it when I actually move to where I plan on actually living. That's going to be a little bit later, because of course, as I'm pretty sure I already mentioned, I need the cementing paste farm for that. But I will go ahead and actually build the farms up and get the structures ready, and then I'll probably just use the template hammer to just save them, and then I can just put them where I end up living. Yeah, give me a little bit to harvest up some resources to make the small farms, and then I will bring you guys back when they are ready to be constructed. Alright, so I'm back, and I'm ready to go ahead and start the construction process. I actually already went ahead and filmed this, but honestly, I wasn't really happy with how the build came out, so I decided to go ahead and just try it over again and see if I could make it work a little bit better this time. Alright, well, I guess we're stuck with that. Alright, anyway, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, I want to go ahead and start by placing some pillars. I'm going to go ahead and place this on some stilts. I figured it would look nice that way, considering that we're on a beach, and should just need to do this, and then can we extend 5 out, or no, we're going to need the other pillar, that right there. It's so nice that they have the option to pick a structure by simply just going ahead and, oh wait, let's go there, then we can pick this up. There we go. Alright, let's extend this all the way. And I just want to make sure this is right. Right? Or did I mess this up? I think this is right. Pretty sure. And, uh-oh. Sometimes that just happens. There we go. Alright, but yeah, just a simple build. I plan to eventually need 2 of these. One for the Dodos and one for the Achatinas. But for now, I think I'm just going to keep them all in the same one until I move to where I plan on actually being in the future. Let me just make sure. This should be a 5 biome. Well, let's just get this on the hotbar. Let's see. And is this, yeah, no. Switch this back to single target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Alright. So it should be a 5x6, at least for now. I'll probably have to put down a pillar here. And then I think I need 2 more, right? Yeah, alright, there we go. Now we just extend this all the way over here. If it will let me. It won't. Alright, we'll have to put our pillar down, I guess. So this one should go right here. And then I think that's our floor for now. This just needs to go here on the side, right? Yep. Alright. There we go. And I decided to try and go ahead and use the scaffolding. I haven't used this stuff before, but I feel like it actually looks pretty nice on this. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I might go ahead and make it so they're not all facing the same way later on. We'll see. Oh, it looks like it does connect with the ground, though. I was afraid I was going to need to double it up. I'm not actually sure I have enough here, but I think we should have enough to extend around the whole thing. I think I may have actually done my math wrong now that I think about it. Let's see. Well, that's not going to help. Go. Grab it again. Alright, either way, we're going to be really close, so... Yep. Alright, we have enough, though. Alright, so there, that should provide some supports for the whole thing. Now we gotta go ahead and make our staircase, or, well, our... called a staircase, but it's not really a staircase, just a little stair up into the building itself. And I was afraid I was going to need 2 of them, but it looks like we only need the 1. I kind of wish that you could have the look at the stairs, but have the slope of the ramp sometimes, because this is a pretty steep incline. It looks like we're doing okay for now. This should work. We just need to grab our walls and wrap this around the whole side. And okay, that's fine. Can I go ahead and just pull for one of these? Am I really missing the wood? Do I seriously not have any wood in the mammoth? Huh. I guess not. Well, that's fortunately an easy fix. There we go. Let's see, can I make it now? Yep, there we go. I guess it must be close enough to the smithy I can pull for all the fiber. I'm thinking I might have to go ahead and use the Frontier cosmetics just to go ahead and keep the texture of the structures similar to the texture of the scaffolding. Because unfortunately, they aren't the same, which can be a little bit annoying when trying to build with wood and using the scaffolding. I was honestly kind of thinking on using fences instead, but I think that I decided to use the scaffolding. I've never really used it before. Figured I'd give it a shot. I need to remember exactly how I planned on doing this. I didn't actually end up making the bigger one beforehand, so I need to remember how I planned it in my head. But it should just be pretty simple. Just need 2 walls right here, and then I want to go for some windows. Is that all the walls? No, it's not. Where do I need the rest of these? I guess it's fine for now. Actually, they probably need to go up here, don't they? Yeah. Actually, I have an idea. Let's go ahead. Let's pick up that. And we use the quarter walls instead. Mammoth. There we go. I'll grab that. Actually, can I just hold all this? I can. Alright, I'm definitely going to need to make some more pieces. And is that a Terry or a Dimorph? That's a Terry. I don't know why, but stuff on this map tends to fly way higher than it should. Let's see, should be able to do that. Then drop this as a window. There we go. Oh. Yeah, never mind. Never mind, I can't. I'm not going to be able to handle that. That's not going to be okay. We'll just have to go with the windows on this level, I guess. Keep it the way it was. Add in our slopes. Would help if I put them in the right spot. And there we go. I'll need to get a wall for that. And there. Alright, we can just go ahead and grab our walls, put them there. It's awfully steep. Yeah, that's really steep. I wonder if instead... Let's try this. What if I get rid of those? And let's swap these to ramps. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better, actually. Alright, then we can just fill those in. Like so. And let's see, next, we should probably go ahead and put the roof on. Figured I'd use thatch. I don't know why, I've always liked using thatch with wood. Particularly thatch for the ceilings. Or the roofs, whichever one. And when I built this earlier, I determined I like inverting these. Yep, snapping in the right spot. And, let's see, I need 2, then that should be 6, so that's 8 more. Guess I didn't go ahead and make more of these. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I keep getting random blueprints for tech replicators. I don't know where I get these, or where I can make them. I don't know if I just go to a mission terminal and then just open it, if I'll have the ability to craft one, but I don't think I did a mission recently. I mean, it's been a couple days, I think, so I don't really know where I got that one. So yeah, that's a little bit weird. We'll have to wait for those crafts. So in the meantime, we're going to put these right here on the side. So we can go ahead and take these, which I'm definitely going to need more of these, and snap them like so. And this is where our Achatinas and or Dodos will be sitting. Actually, no, I did make enough of these. Let me just make sure. If I pick this up, it does get rid of them. Alright, fortunately, I do have pillars to use to fix that. Because I do not want this random quarter wall sitting here. I was really hoping that the normal walls would hold them up, but I guess not. We'll just go ahead and grab ourselves the quarter pillars. I think we can just handle it like that, right? I have one in the middle. Yeah, I should. See, this works, right? Yep, there we go. Perfect. Then we'll just do the same on this side. And add in our pillars. And there we go. That should work, right? Yep, there we go. Alright, the other thing I wanted to do was to go ahead and make... Whoops, I forgot. I don't need those. I need... I wish there was an easy way to convert these. I don't think I need it anymore, right? No, I don't think so. I am going to need 6 more of... Nope, wrong one. I'm going to need 6 more of these, though. Let's grab those. And let's, I guess, just finish this off for now. Invert. There we go. Let's finish off the ceiling, because I want to go ahead and add in... Let's see, can I put these down beforehand? I can. The problem is I definitely do not have enough of these, so I'm going to need to make some more. I really wish that there was... They just added a quarter roof or quarter stair option instead of having you just make the normal ones, because it gets really expensive really quickly. And I need to go ahead and put some railings on these so we can keep our Dodos and Achatinas in here, because Achatinas need to be on Wander in order for them to produce the Achatina paste. So normally you can just go ahead and put them in like a wooden cage. That's why I have my dung beetle set up in right now. But I figured that if we're going to have a little farm area, then it might be nice to have them actually just walking around in here. I highly doubt I have the resources for this, but we'll see. Where is it? Should be in here somewhere. There it is. Should be 10, right? That's nowhere near enough. Here, let me quickly demo some of these. There we go. That should go ahead and give us a bunch of resources. For now, we should be able to make what we need, right? Where is it? There we go. And yeah, I can just barely afford 10 of them. I'm pretty sure it should take 10, right? Yeah. And then I'll need to go ahead and make a ton of quarter, what do you call them? Ceilings in order to go ahead and actually fit the, walkway over here. Originally, I just had it as stairs leading up straight to the thatched roofs, but I realized that I couldn't access the inventories of anything. and that ended up being a bit of a problem. Sorry, I just realized that my microphone was not in the right spot, so hopefully the rest of this isn't going to be too bad. And we should just have to put our windows like this, and they should be in the right spot. And I think we're almost done here. The big question that I have left to be answered is whether or not I want to have something on the outside for the rim of the roof. I actually really like the shape, it just... I need a little bit more three-dimensional. I think I might want to go for just making... Do I have any left over? I don't. I think I might try and just make another layer of quarters around the whole thing. So hang on, I gotta do a bit more crafting, and then we'll see how it looks. Alright, and there we go. Should hopefully add a little bit more three-dimensional to the roof, and it's not exactly as great as I was hoping. It's not bad, and I feel like in here things are pretty nice. I went ahead and added the little walkway over here, and we should probably go ahead and toss everyone out. So let's go ahead and start with the snails. So I should be able to access the inventory from over here, right? If not, I can just... Oh yeah, I can just hop the fence, so... There we go. And I'll just set these guys to wandering. Whoops. Dodo, you go over there. Excuse me. Alright, apparently I'm not good at tossing dodos. That's not going to be great for some missions, but anyway, let's see. We want wander, and we want... Let's make sure they're on passive and ignore whistles. And there we go. That should hopefully keep them able to wander around for, I mean, really forever, and produce me a ton of Achatina paste. I can just go ahead and toss the dodos in here. There we go. Alright, and we just need to drop our Oviraptor right here. And let's make sure, alright, it's only collecting unfertilized eggs. And yeah, eventually I'll probably set the dodos to wander, but I do want to go ahead and use them to breed me up an army of dodos. And I'll probably do the same thing with snails, but I'll get another, I'll get 2 more that I can use for the breeding purposes. This is a really nice looking snail. That's a really nice shell. But yeah. I figure that this will work for now. I might go ahead and add some pillars. Let me just see, what would it look like if I just added some over here? Let's just do that. It's okay. I feel like it's just a lot of wood, though. I don't really feel like stone would work here. I might leave it for now. I might come back and take a look at it later, and I think I'm going to just not coat everything to look like the, actually, hold on. Maybe I'll skip the roof, but maybe... Let's see how the wall looks. I'll just coat this side. And we'll see how it looks. Uh-oh, can they not do the, Oh, they can. Never mind. We're good. I was a little bit scared there for a second that we couldn't do the, was it shallow sloped? Let's see, how's this look? Honestly, I really like that. Give me a second, I'm gonna reskin the whole thing. Alright, there we go. I think I'm gonna leave the wooden, the stairs and all this stuff, just the normal wooden stuff. I think that from the outside, go ahead and take a look. So our mammoth take it a little bit of a height advantage here. Yeah, that looks really nice. Not a fan of how the thatch sticks out. I'm gonna have to deal with that. I might find a way to go ahead and fix it later on, and I'm hungry, and for whatever reason my Armadillo is not feeding me, so yeah, we'll let the blindness go away. But yeah, aside from not being able to see and the thatch that's sticking out right here, I think it looks pretty good. I really wish that there was a way for me to go ahead and change the ramps to have the same texture as the roofs right now. Just because it's a little bit weird to have the angle right there. But, I mean, it's not too bad. I don't hate it. One thing I do want to do, though, before we're done, I think I'm going to need 2 more pillars. Let me actually just see. How's this look? Nah. I'll just leave without for now. But I'll go ahead and I'll grab 2 pillars. And there's one special thing. Do I have? Yes, I do. So I should just need 2 pillars to make this work. And I think I should be able to get it to work because I set this up properly. Even though it was on complete accident, but something I like to do to the top of my roofs on these kind of buildings. Let's go ahead and set up some beams. Like so. And then extend some railings. Whoops, one too many. And have them extend downward. Now that I'm thinking about it, though. There we go. I wonder how it would look. I've never tried flipping them before. Does that look better? Actually? Kinda does. Here, this. Let's see which one is less annoying to look at from the inside. That's pretty tough. They both look pretty bad. I think I'm gonna go with that one though, so we won't flip it upside down. Yeah, that's just a nice little thing I like to do. It looks a lot better on the outside than the inside, but there are some times where you can build it on the inside, kind of just hide it a little bit. I've done that before. But yeah, I think so far this looks pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't think I can go ahead and skin this with the Frontier stuff without it looking really stupid, right? It's not awful. It's too fancy for this, though. So yeah, we'll just remove it. Do that, and yeah. I'd say that's probably about all we need to do. Nice little farm hut here that I'll probably go ahead and I'll just copy it with the build template. I think I actually made one of those, right? Template hammer. Is it in here? Yeah. So I'll go ahead and copy this, and then we can go ahead and use it when I move over to where I will be permanently living or somewhere else. I might go ahead and put this as part of my bog base. I kind of have an idea for a house over in the bog area, but it's not going to be very big. So I might go ahead and have it kind of be where all these farms are, just because it will also keep it away so that my main base isn't going to be crowded by having potentially, I mean, if I want to fill this all up with probably about 2 Achatina per foundation, or maybe 1. I mean, if it's 1, that's 12 Achatina. If it's 2, that's 24 Achatina per each stats foundation. Or, well, 24 Achatina in total, I guess, per one of these, and then the same would be true with Dodos. That's going to be a lot of creatures that potentially could cause a lot of lag. So, might be for the best that I go ahead and, yeah, move this somewhere where I'm not going to be breeding aquatic creatures and stuff. But yeah, I think this actually came out pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect, but this is the first build of the series, and there's a lot of building plans. As I've said before, I want to go ahead and make at least 1 building per biome. And let me just quickly go grab some food. Is there anything in here that isn't gonna... No, not really. I guess I could just... I'll just take some of this, I guess. But yeah, I want to build in every single biome, and 3 of those I want to use metal, particularly the ocean, the volcano, and the lunar biome. I think are all going to be made of metal, so I'm going to need a lot of cementing paste, so I think that getting this Achatina farm started up, it's going to be great. I'll have to go out and tame more of them and breed some together, but that's going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, pretty sure that's all I got for this one. Real quickly before I end this one off, I just want to say that, again, I'm sorry that I'm reducing the upload count per week. I really wanted to keep it going, but I just can't really even think of anything to go ahead and make that many videos on. I mean, 3 a week. I mean, I know it doesn't sound that much, but I'm not really great at coming up with ideas, and even then, I'd rather they actually be something of substance and something I want to work towards. It's hard to get all of the projects that I want to get done here in the short amount of time I'm going to be here when I have to constantly be working on another episode because I need some filler. But yeah, so I hope that you guys will be okay with that, and I promise you'll get to see a mutation project soon. I got that in the works, but next time I want to go ahead and tame a Paleoctopus because I really need to do that. I still haven't done it, and I really am interested to see how they are. I know they recently got buffed, which is great, but I do need to do a little bit of research because I've heard a lot of conflicting reports as to what the best food source for them is, whether it's prime fish meat, black pearls, or I think it's exceptional kibble I've heard said, so I don't know, maybe in that episode we'll figure that one out. Maybe I'll end up having to tame 3 of them, but yeah, we'll see. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, so as always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.